friend Roger Christopherson here again with another first listener review. This one's kind of cool, kind of not cool at the same time, but if you've been waiting around since 2015 was when your collection 1 came out, you've finally now got the collection 2, which is Van Halen's Sammy Hagar era stuff here, the box sets, whatever the heck it's called. They just probably said it all wrong, but I don't care. I'm not starting over again. Yeah, that's what it's called, the collection 2. I will not to go through every single song on this one, obviously, because everybody probably knows everything that's on this one. The main thing I was interested in was the Rarities CD, which I'll get to in just a minute. But I've heard a few other people review this one already, and I want to get one thing clear: it's a remaster. It's not a remix. I don't care what anybody says or what they think it sounds like. This is a remaster. It's like a big difference between the two of them. This is the original master, or the original tapes, original mixes, remastered. That's what it is. So, now with that in mind, it does have a little bit of different sound, but not a huge difference that I noticed. There's some songs that benefited from it, and there's a few that just didn't. So if you have the originals and you like that, hang on to them. This is just kind of an added thing. It's as far as box sets goes, it was kind of minimalistic, but I did kind of like what they did with it. They have the CDs in like just a CD size case, just cardboard box. These come out in sleeves, but the sleeves all replicate like a mini version of what the vinyl was when it was originally released. And so even right down to the lyrics and everything on them, that comes out the slip, the inner sleeve's got the lyrics on it and all that stuff, just like the original did. They matched the artwork exactly like the originals. And the originals on vinyl did not have bonus songs like the cassette and the CD had, so they left that way, and they threw those songs that were bonuses on those CDs onto the Rarities. And now, when I first heard about, I was a huge Van Halen fan, 84 when that came out, everybody's trying to learn how to play the drum solo, and, it's about when I was getting into guitar. It was around that era, a little bit sooner than that. I'm actually, Diver Down was the first one I got from them, and the song Little Guitars was like, one of my favorite songs. I don't know why that one in particular, but it was one of my favorite songs. And, when they lost breath and didn't know what was happening, I remember hearing rumor about Sammy Hagar. I really like Sammy Hagar. VOA was out, and I was really into that album. And I was watching Live Aid Live, or Farm Aid Live, and Sammy Hagar came out and did a few songs, and then Eddie Van Halen came out and played with them at the end of that, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I watched it happen live, saw them jam together for the first time, live as it was happening. That's like a memory I'll always have, and I thought it was really cool, and I could not wait for that album to come out. And when 5150 came out, it was way different. I mean, nothing like the original stuff. It had a completely different sound, and it took a little adjusting to, but I did like it. I really did. I didn't like the first single, but after I heard Summer Nights is what really drew me in, and just the song 5150 is actually still one of my favorite from that whole era. Got to see them live in the Monsters of Rock. Me and my buddy drove all the way up to Rich Stadium in Buffalo, New York, and snuck in a camera. Actually, I got a few snapshots from that show, and it was really cool. What a great memories. And unfortunately, it's the only time I ever got to see Van Halen. But anyway, getting back to this. So when this came out, I was really excited because this is kind of the era that I really listened to them, and I grew up while the albums were coming out listening to them. Love the original Van Halen. In fact, Van Halen 2 is probably my favorite Van Halen album of all time, but this is the era that I grew up with. So anyway, the Rarities thing. We'll get to. So the CDs are cool. If you have the original, like I just explained, they're cool. The remastering sounds a little different, and not anything huge that I noticed. You can, depending on the stereo you play it on, it's probably going to sound different no matter what you play it on anyway, the original and the remaster. But nothing huge that I noticed there. It was fun listening to them again. Losing my voice here. But anyway, the Studio Rarities. Now, I guess they're rare, but nothing on this is unreleased. There's nothing new. These have all been released. There's only 8 songs. You got the Apolitical Blues, which was on the OU812, I believe it was, if I'm remembering correctly. It's an old Little Feat cover song. I don't really like that song that much, so it didn't really mean much to me having that on there. Now the song "Crossing Over" was cool. That was like the B-side, "The Can't Stop Loving You." So that was out there, released before. Ethereum was on Balance. Why they didn't take Strung Out off that as the bonus one, because that's just like a weird nonsense sounding thing. It's just making noise on piano strings. I never really understood why that was even on anything personally, but this song's kind of cool. I think it was Wolfgang that actually came up with the title of the song, if I remember correctly. It was like a giant dinosaur or something like that, the biggest dinosaur ever or something like that. I don't know. You can feel free to comment on this if you know what it actually is, but I'm pretty sure it was Wolf that came up with that song, so that was kind of cool. And then you get Humans Being and Respect the Wind, which are from the Twister soundtrack. Actually, Respect the Wind was nominated for a Grammy. I don't remember if it won or not, but it was nominated. And then the last three, It's About Time, Up for Breakfast, and Morning to Sea, were on the Best of Both Worlds release. So the only thing that was never released on a Van Halen album was Respect the Wind, which is one that was nominated for a Grammy, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But it's kind of cool having them all here together in one little package. That's cool, but nothing new. And it was fun listening to them. I mean, I've heard them all before, but it's cool to have. So, I mean, the price tag in this thing was like just under $50, I think. Luckily, I got mine a little bit early, in case you're wondering here, but I was able to get a little early, and it was cool to listen to. It was fun. For that, what it is, it's really not that much money when you can think about what CDs are going for nowadays. You get, 5 CDs here, about $10 a pop, so sounds about right. And if you don't have any of the stuff, you're missing any, or you're thinking about getting a Van Halen album, why not get this? I think that's what it's for. It seems like a little bit of a money grab, but it's not nuts like some of this other stuff that's been out, that I just shelled out a lot of money for. The Dio one I still have not gotten, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about that one still. That one seems like more of a money grab, but that's another story altogether. Anyway, any of you guys, feel free to comment on this one. There's not really a whole lot to talk about on this one. There isn't a whole lot to this box set. They didn't really do anything new or add anything new, so there's not a whole lot to talk about. If you feel free to comment whether you think it's a money grab or not, go right ahead. And if you've heard it and you think the remasters sounds a lot better or a lot worse, I don't know. Some of these original ones, like 5150 and OU812, I didn't think were very full sounding albums. I was kind of hoping the remaster would like thicken that up a little bit, and it didn't really sound like it did. So I don't know. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion. This is all this is me sharing my personal opinion. So anyway, feel free as always to share down below, like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff like I always ask for. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See you.